What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In today's video, we're jumping into Venom issue number 36, and it will be a Venom War tie-in. And if you're not keeping up with the Venom War, I highly recommend that you check out my playlist that will show you at least the last couple of issues. But if you really want to dive into what's going on, what led up to the Venom War, check out my playlist for Venom, covering all 36 issues. It's going to show you exactly how we got here since the events of King in Black. But in this issue, we're going to be following the future version of Dylan Brock, because he has made his way back in time. He wants to try and prevent his future from ever happening. To do so, that means Eddie Brock and Venom can never be together. They can never bond. Not again. He has told Dylan that there are 3 specific points that he must more or less destroy or take down. That if he does this right, the future that he is from will never be. So, make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel. Make sure that you like this video. And with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we're picking up in New York. It is sometime in the future, but it doesn't specify exactly when. What we do see is that this city is in rubble, looking like War of the Worlds. Giant machines walking around, hunting anything that appears to be human. And as he runs through the city, Dylan can't help but feel a little bit of nostalgia, because if he's successful in the mission that he is about to set forth, he's never gonna see this world again, as he fights off these robots coming at him, knowing that if he is successful, he won't exist. But all of this is a very big if, with one of these machines being able to grab hold of him, getting ready to pierce his eye. That's when the machine is shot. We are shown the future version of Norman Osborn, the two of them being able to survive through all of this time, and by their side is Liz Allen. And so with Norman and Liz coming in and saving Dylan's butt, he told them to stay back. The radiation of this place is going to burn their brains out. But the way they see it, if he's successful, it doesn't matter. That his mission, that is more important than anything else. Because if he is able to do this job, none of them will ever exist how they are now. This is when we have an individual that comes swinging in. This individual is Bailey Briggs, aka Spider-Boy. But with Dylan having all of his friends around him, telling him all that he loves them, that they mean everything to him, he activates his Doom Tech, and as he disappears, he sees everybody that he loves fall to the machines. Showing up in New York, he wastes absolutely no time. He showed up at the right location. He goes inside, and this is where he is talking to Dylan Brock from the present day. He tells him about the machine on his back being Doom Tech, about time being a juggernaut, that he can't kill the future, not alone at least, that he's gonna need help. 3 points need to be pushed on. If he does it right, if Dylan does his part, they kill the future. That Dylan is going to be a weapon, and if he fails, Dylan knows what to expect on the horizon. You know, and this stuff is kind of stuff we've already heard. But when Dylan left, the older version of him, he used the Doom Tech and he went even further into the past. He went into a time where he could find Molten Man. He's keeping an eye on him. He is waiting for the prime opportunity. While this is happening, there's also a voice. That voice, the thought bubbles, the dialogue bubbles, look a lot like that of Venom. Now, it doesn't specify that this is Venom, but there's a possibility that it might be. And so could Dylan, this future version of him, have ill intentions? Could he in fact come from a future where he is trying to implement the Venom world? Now, with Molten Man being apprehended for destroying that vehicle, or at least they were headed to apprehend him, Dylan has a news clipping showing this day happening. He is at the right spot. We see Spider-Man come swinging in, and Dylan sees his parents For the first time, Dylan Brock sees his mother. By the time he was born, his parents were living apart already, or at least their relationship was falling apart. By the time he could walk, his mother had already passed away. While sitting here observing everything going on, Molten Man gets out of cuffs. He picks up a car and he throws it. He smashes Dylan Brock in the face. And as Molten Man takes off, Venom saying that he's getting away, Dylan goes chasing him down. He hits him with a weapon, something strong enough to make Molten Man turn around. And when Molten Man grabs the throat of Dylan and lifts him up, Dylan's arm turns into some kind of giant needle syringe. He jabs it into the stomach of Molten Man, and he begins to siphon. Now, we don't know exactly what he is doing here. Maybe taking the blood of Molten Man because it has some kind of unique properties to it that he can use as a weapon. Nonetheless, with all of this going down, it was gonna catch the attention of somebody. And in this case, that somebody is Spider-Man. Dropping in, not asking really a whole lot of questions, but does have to wonder what's going on here. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. So this one's not a bad story. We're kind of branching off in different directions and we're getting told individual stories. Such as the last video we just covered, it was following Spider-Man and his interactions with Venom. Moreover, how Meridius is trying to play his own game. But this one focused on our wannabe Cable future version of Dylan Brock. I really wish they had gone with a different design. This is very much heavily Cable, almost to a point where it's like this feels like just Cable Jr. It's not to say I don't like the character, it just doesn't feel very original. But we're seeing the future that he comes from. And by all accounts, we don't see anything that indicates Eddie Brock has taken over the world. In fact, what it indicates is that machines have taken over. With him having Doom Tech, I think it's safe to make a connection that these machines are Doom Tech themselves, and that Dylan Brock stole this backpack, stole this Doom Tech, so that he could go back in time and stop whatever may or may not have happened. I think the likelihood that that future version is Venom World probably slim to none, considering it looks nothing like what Venom World you would expect it to look like, but maybe he hasn't reached that point. We're working with very limited information as it stands, and right now we can assume that the future version of Dylan has good intentions, but it's possible that he may not. And so it's fun seeing that, but it's also fun jumping back in time, going back and seeing Molten Man, seeing Eddie Brock when he was trying to make it big as a photographer, Spider-Man in his early years, having that webbing on his suit between his armpit. A little jump back to nostalgia. But I'm definitely interested in seeing where they're going to be taking the history, if you will, of the future Dylan Brock. How he's going to play a role in all of this, and what he needed from the body of Molten Man. And if this is one of the 3 items that he needs to push on, what could the other 2 be? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you would like to get caught up on everything that has been going on with the Venom series, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It's gonna get you completely caught up on everything that we have seen so far. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you're unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.